Good morning to those who are joining us. I'll ask everyone to mute, first of all. And then if you have any questions, as usual, please put them in the chat or we will ask for those questions later on. I am Heather Kelly. I'm with the Illinois Small Business Development Center at Rockford Chamber, otherwise known as Rockford SBDC. We offer free guidance and training to small businesses, primarily in Winnebago, Boone, Ogle, and Stevenson counties.
So a Zoom call. So holler if you need me. I'm gonna let you look.
Yeah. Can I have everyone mute, please? Thank you. So if you need any business assistance in the areas of starting off your business plan, if you have an existing business that you need help with, we offer services in the areas of accounting, marketing, IT, and if you need any of our services, rockfordsbdc.org. Follow us on our social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter, Rockford SBDC. And with that, I will introduce our guest speaker today. We have Carrie Krieger from Carrie Krieger Coaching. She's known as Coach Carrie. And we've had lots of great conversations, and I know that you will get lots of information to stay motivated from her. And we are talking about revisiting your business why and staying motivated. And so she'll talk about that on a personal and a business level as well. So with that, I will turn it over to Carrie.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to take a moment to thank Heather for letting me be a part of, the speaking this morning. And we've found a way to do it in, where we can meet all people from all over, which is really, really cool. So I'm really excited to be here. What you'll find out about me is I'm passionate about what I do. And I tend to obviously radiate that. So if you want, we can go ahead and get started. A lot of the things that I am going to talk about today are some of the things that I do with my clients personally. Let me see here. Hold on one second.
Over to the right.
I'm just using my arrow button. It's not working. Sorry, everybody. It did yesterday. Where'd it go?
Sometimes you have to go up to the right, and there you go.
Let's see. We'll see if I can do this. So a little bit about me. I'm a nationwide coach. I work with clients from any, wherever you are, we can meet. I have 8 years of coaching experience. I started 5 years in the financial industry. And 3 years in the construction industry most recently. As of January, I went out on my own and super excited about it. And my husband and I have a business. He runs that business. So I come from 18 years of a business background with him as well. So some of the clients that I like to work with are people that are aspiring leaders, business owners, and entrepreneurial people. So those are some of the things, a little bit about me. I do live in southern Wisconsin and have 3 daughters and, like I said, my husband. So moving on, what is a life coach? I felt like it was really important to explain a little bit about what I do. I'm a wellness professional who help people make progress in their lives in order to attain greater fulfillment. I help individuals improve their relationships, careers, and day-to-day lives. I coach with a lot of different people, but my niche, like I mentioned before, is business owners. But I really come from a place of just loving and being passionate about helping people grow. If you're stuck, if you're feeling like you're in the gerbil wheel, those are some of the things that I work with people on. So this is really, really powerful. I feel like the time is now. Reconnect to your why and live your life on purpose. I feel so many times through the pandemic, the last 2 years, we have been out of sorts. We've been forced to do things that we didn't want to do. We've been forced to take action in different ways, and we've been forced to be pushed out of our comfort zone. And so the work that I do with people is really business and it's personal. And I really work on the foundation of you. And I think that it's so important because you are your foundation of your business. If you crumble, your business doesn't go anywhere. So that's what we're kind of going to hit on both sets today. But I wanted to talk a little bit about what your why is, what sets you apart from everyone else. It's what inspires you to take action. It's what can get you out of the bed in the morning. It's exciting, right? And your purpose and your why are linked. So your purpose is your roadmap to a life that's more fulfilling, that provides you with more energy, fulfillment. Living life on purpose means to live in your strengths, in line with your values, to make impact and live the lives of, impact the lives of others, excuse me. So how do we begin? How does somebody really work on, connecting and figuring out your why or revisiting it? I work with people that are successful, and sometimes they're like, I know how I got my success, but I really don't know what my purpose is. And I know when I started my business, I knew what my why was, but our whys and our purpose can change through life and ebbs and flows. So one of the ways that I as a coach can help you redefine, reconnect, or figure out your purpose and your why is to reconnect with your inner self. It's a huge part of figuring out your why and discovering your purpose and who you are. It can give you, you have to give yourself the gift of time, uninterrupted time to kind of go through some of these things. I feel like that's the powerful thing about hiring a coach is we're busy, right? We're short on time. We don't always take time for ourselves. We're the last people. If you're sometimes like I am, I'm the last person I think about. And if I crumble, my family crumbles, my business crumbles, there's a lot of things at stake. And so we're all busy, but one of the things that people do is we create this space, right? So when you hire a coach, you give yourself the gift of time, which is really a powerful gift. And sometimes it's growth minded and sometimes it's emptying out. But how we begin is we reconnect with our inner self. I wanted to give you some things that you could take with you today, that you could have tangible, so that after this call today, you guys could start working on this right away. I wanted to give you 5 things that you can reconnect with your why, discover your purpose. It might spark other avenues for you. But the bottom line is you could start this, right away when you get done if you had time. But number 1, the tip that I always ask people is to talk about, your reflection. Look at, where you've been, where you're going. Take the time to think about it, right? It can be really powerful if we sit in silence and we have some definitive questions to ask ourselves. I gave you some questions if you wanted to, if we were in a coaching meeting, this might look like question number 1, how do you feel when you first wake up in the morning, right? And then I would listen to you. And these are things that you can be writing and you can figure out your answers. But number 2, what are your top priorities right now? And number 3, what did you learn most about yourself this past year, whether it be business or professional, business or personal, whichever one, however you picked up this information. Tip number 2 would be defining your personal values. This is probably one of the things that is the most important exercises that I've done. I have gone through all the things that I'm teaching with you myself. And this has been really powerful in my own life. And I've gotten a lot of feedback that the clients that I work with, it's liberating. If you do the work and you define your personal value, it runs your entire life, right? Your personal values are your inspiration to act, and they guide you with your decisions about everything from personal to career and growth. They affect the person that we want to be, influence how we treat others, and how we interact with the world. And a lot of times people are like, well, how would you even go about defining your personal values, right? It's a big job, right? Once again, take that time that you need with yourself. You can Google on the internet, you can Google a list of words, values, and you can come up with a list. And it's really looking at the words. And what I do with clients is I say, pick 15, circle 15 that stick out to you right away. And circle 15, you come back to it, you cross off 5. Leave, come back to it, cross off 5 more. Now you have 5 left, right? And then you kind of just keep whittling it down until you have your top 3. It's powerful, but it doesn't happen overnight. It can take, there's no amount of time that is specific, but it can take any amount of time. So I've seen 4 to 6 weeks, I've seen 6 to 8 weeks, I've seen 2 weeks. It's really up to you and the work that you want to put into it. But don't, I tell people, don't beat your head against the wall if it doesn't come up for you right away, right? It's in your subconscious and you're thinking about it. So today, this exercise, you're really not going to come up with it today unless you already know it. I came into my own coaching appointment with my coach, and I thought I knew my value, my number one value. And through the work that we did together, we sifted it out, and I was like, I guess I don't know it. And I think I did know it, but I think through the pandemic, some things had shifted and changed for me. And I hear that a lot, right? Our values can move and groove and change, but our number one personal value is generally what we're born with, right? So you might have to phone a friend, or you might have to phone your mom or somebody in your family to say, I'm struggling between, am I more, do I display more courage, or do I have more independence? And they may say, well, gosh, when you were little, this showed up for you more, right? And it works with all facets of your life, right? We don't have work values and then personal values. We have, they go for both, right? We have one personal value, and that drives us in our personal life and in our professional life. So this exercise, although it's very powerful, you might not get your answer today, but I encourage you to keep working on it, because it really does make sense to you once you figure it out. And it can be very powerful in driving you to move in the direction that you want to go. Tip number 3. This is something that all this work is stuff that I have done, that I created, but I also have done with clients. This I am statement is really kind of neat. What follows your I am is what you believe that what is possible for you, who you currently are, and who you aspire to be. So however that resonates with you, if you know who you currently are, or you're struggling with some things about who you currently are, you can write who you aspire to be, right? And some things can look like, I am a great life coach. I am an awesome mom. I am whatever you think. I am a great business owner. I'm a great example in the community. Those are some things that you could write down, things that you aspire to be, or things that you currently know that you are. And this can be something that you can reference, at any point in time. I love this exercise because sometimes when we have hard times and hard days, we can go right back to our I am statements and be like, okay, I had a tough day today, but it didn't erase all the work that I've done on me. And I know who I am, and I know where I'm going. So sometimes, it's powerful to put it on your bathroom mirror, or where you will see it the first thing in the morning that you wake up. 2 years ago, right before the pandemic, I decided that even though I had coaching experience, I wanted to get certified, and I wanted to continue to grow myself. And so I put on my mirror and Post-it notes with a Sharpie marker, I am, and I am. And one of those was, I'm the best life coach in Southern Wisconsin, then it went nationwide. And you read it every day and it gets in your subconscious and you follow it. And 6 months into my certification, I already knew where I was, right? So when I had obtained that goal, in my mind, it was already completed. I was already on to the next. So this can be really powerful in, knowing where you're going and who you are. This is a great exercise to share with your employees as well. I think we've all seen things in life that lately, through the pandemic, and then you've got things that are uncontrollable that are happening in other countries that are sad. And sometimes we get kind of bogged down with some of that stuff. This can remind you on the days, every day, where you're going and who you are, and can be really, really powerful. Tip number 4 is master your morning routine. I can't stress this enough. And it's part of our component of balance. It is really the only time in the morning that we might get to ourselves, right? So when I talk about a morning routine in a coaching appointment, a lot of times I'll kind of get people that will like not shrug their shoulders, but kind of look like, really, am I adding any more to my plate right now? Do you know how busy I am? And it's not to add more to your plate, but it's to be more intentional about what your morning looks like. And for instance, 70% of Americans live unconsciously. So if I asked you about your morning routine, what would it look like? What would you tell me? And you could probably tell me spot on every move that you do without even thinking about it. You could do it in your sleep, right? So this changes a little bit. If you know that your morning routine right now is 30 minutes, I'm not asking to add more to that, but rather maybe be more intentional, right? If your work environment and you're highly stressed, maybe you add a 5-minute meditation, a 2-minute meditation. Maybe there's some things that you would add to your routine, but you're taking away things that maybe scrolling social media when you wake up. We all get into it. We all get sucked into social media, right? And sometimes, for me, I'll speak for myself. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I looked at social media for 10 minutes and it did nothing, right? The time went by so quick. Where could I be using that time differently, right? It's all about living intentionally and how you head into the office in the morning. Some examples that I can share with you is your nighttime routine has a lot to do with your morning routine, right? If you don't get into bed early enough, you're sleep deprived, we don't function on a lot of sleep. We know we can function, but are we at our personal best when we don't have the sleep that our body needs? Sleep heals our body. So sleep is a big component of why we do what we do, right? Make sure that your nighttime routine is healthy. What does it look like before you go to bed? Could you go to bed 15, 20 minutes earlier than you currently do? Sometimes that's just not feasible, but how do you, is there something that you could look at your nighttime routine that maybe you could set your morning routine up for success, right? So if you work out, maybe set your workout clothes out the night before. That way they're looking at you, right? You wake up in the morning and they're staring at you, and it might help you move towards, working out, which would be like the motivation piece that we're going to talk about in a few slides. Exercise, meditation, yoga, journal, reading. A big one that I don't think takes a lot of time is acknowledging 3 people that you're grateful for, or 3 things, or 3, just gratitude in general. Adding gratitude into your life is really, really powerful. And this one, know your plan for the day. We sometimes can hit the ground running when we get into the office or when we get into our business. And sometimes it feels like flames on the back of your heels, right? You're just running. But if you had a plan and you took 5 minutes out of your morning to have your plan for the day, you're talking about your well-being, right? And how you want to set yourself up for success. If you do that for 30 days, you might see a difference in what you're doing. You might react different. You might respond different. There's a lot of positives to this. Do the toughest thing first. I can't stress that enough. Do the toughest thing first, right? Although it seems like, gosh, I have to call that client and I know it's not going to be a happy phone call. I know it's challenging. I don't want to do it. You got to just do it, right? Because emotionally, we do carry that stuff throughout our day. We don't realize it, but one of the things I like to say is, like, the analogy I like to use is we've got this backpack of rocks, and it's all the stuff that we need to do that we don't really want to do, but we don't understand how heavy it is until we start taking the rocks out, right? So if you had to carry a backpack of rocks around all day, why would you do that, right? So getting the hardest part of your day done, you know, in the beginning, you're going to take off that emotional weight, and that you may not even recognize that you're carrying, and you'll see a difference in your business, right? Because you're doing the things that need to be done. You're also setting an example for your employees, right? That these are the things that you can coach yourself on. Once you figure it out, coach your employees on it. This is huge. Sometimes they just don't know the direction that they want to go, or what could help them be better, get to work on time, do the things that they need to do, and function at a high level. So this is really, really powerful, and you can make it what you want. These are just some examples, right? So in coaching, I don't tell people what to do, right? Because then that would be my idea, not theirs. So you have to find what works best for you, and then figure out your plan. But the intention is to not add more to your morning, but to be more intentional. Tip number 5, time to grow. And this really, you know, boils into, you know, your motivation, right? When we lack motivation or we're bored, it can honestly just mean that we're stuck in a day-to-day rut. Nothing seems exciting. And so we have to add some form of excitement, right? Sometimes that gerbil wheel, and I know the last 2 years we've all been, or we've experienced, or we know somebody that has experienced the gerbil wheel, right? Just like, oh my gosh, I'm just like, every day seems the same, you know, and you're just on that form of, you know, just go, 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 but you don't feel fulfilled. You're bored. It just means that you need to add something to your plate. And I don't mean that like, oh, you need to add more to your plate, like you don't have enough on your plate, but it's time to grow. It's time to figure out what can initiate excitement in you again. And some of the questions I would ask you are, what are some things that interest you, but you've never had the time to do it, right? What's a skill or training that you've always wanted to learn, but you just haven't done it? You probably, in me asking these questions, you probably already know the answer, right? And you could probably say really quickly what they could be, right? If we're looking for some type of motivation, it can be doing something out of our comfort zone, or doing something that we've always wanted to do, but we've never allowed ourselves the time to do it. It's the permission to do it. And if you don't know, this could be a great opportunity to, you know, obviously talk to another business mentor, hire a coach, any of those things to help you figure it out. You know, that's what coaching really is taking you from where you are to where you want to be. And a lot of times it's just sifting through things to figure out, you know, what could motivate you? What do you always want to do what have you always wanted to do that's exciting? And I share this with people because we don't take the time in our busy lives to think about this, right? But I think through this pandemic, we've all had a sense of, oh my goodness, I need to take care of myself before I take care of others, because I am the foundation of what I do. So when you do all the work, and you can take all 5 of those tips and put them into a purpose statement, or you can take 1 or 2. Everything, you know, not everything will resonate with everybody today, but maybe I hit home on the I am and the I am statements, and that really resonated with you. Putting together, you know, all this stuff that we've just done together on a blank piece of paper is kind of see like beginning your purpose statement, right? I didn't put a purpose statement up here, but I can read you the first paragraph of my purpose statement so you kind of understand how to tie some of these things that you've done into your statement. Mine is I positively impact my clients, family, and friends. I'm a great mother, friend, and coach. I am a woman of health and personal growth. I do all things while serving my family, friends, and clients, helping them write their stories. I bring value to people's lives and live in my personal value of courage every day. That is on my computer in the morning. It is on my mirror in the morning. You can add your I am statements after that. You can add whatever you want, but that is part of my morning routine. I know exactly where I'm going. I know exactly where, you know, how I, where, what I expect of myself, right? And it really has, on those days that I don't want to work out, those days that I don't want to do, it reminds me once again, like the I am statements, where I'm headed. So that can be really powerful to remind yourself that you are amazing and that you are doing the things that you want to do, even though you might be tired or you might be, you know, just whatever you need, you know, whatever you need to give yourself in this space. This is huge for employees. You know, I do come to businesses and I do train on this stuff. So if this is something that you think, gosh, I want to do this myself, or I want to do this for my employees, that's something that I do. It's really powerful, and it's not right now, oh my gosh, I leave your, you know, do a presentation at your facility and your employees are automatically changed and different, or you're different. But it's like you turn that 1 degree every day. You turn it in the right direction. You go in the direction that you're going. This is really powerful information. When you know your why and your purpose, it equals growth and growth and motivation. I should say probably meditation is another example, but your why and your purpose are incredibly huge. You know where you're going, and it can enhance your business, and it can enhance, you know, you can motivate your employees. We don't motivate people. There's no way to motivate people, right? I can be an accountability partner for somebody, and I can do my you rah rah, but we don't motivate people. The best way to motivate people is to be motivated individuals ourselves and do the work ourselves and lead by that example. And once you're motivated to do these things or to learn or to grow, you're going to infect people in such a positive way to do the same. And it's great for your culture as well. That is kind of, you know, that's a wrap into what I have today. I wanted to leave some questions and leave some time for you to ask me questions, because some of this work is confusing, or you might have questions that sparked throughout the presentation, but this is some of the things that I've been working on. This is all my work. This is something that I've been coaching and developing for the last 3 years. So I want you to know, thank you so much for listening to me and being open to take what you need from this. My information's on the screen. If anything prompts after this, you can certainly reach out to me. I'm always generally available.
Awesome. Carrie, thank you so much. That was a great presentation. And I know I've gotten a lot of tips out of it. And if anyone wants to watch the presentation again, it will be on our Facebook page, Rockford SBDC. So with that, now, if anyone has any questions for Carrie, you can feel free to put them in the chat, or you can unmute and ask her a question. And I have a question for you, Carrie. Yeah. So do you do anything? I've seen this, I've started to see this quite a bit, but do you do anything with vision boards?
I do. And you can do, it would be like a classroom setting. You can do a vision board. A lot of people think they missed their opportunity because January and February is done. You can do a vision board for, you know, from now April to April 2023, you can do one. I mean, there's always an opportunity to do a vision board. Yes, absolutely.
Are there any other questions for Carrie? Okay, with that, again, thank you, Carrie, very much. A reminder that the recording will, oh, Butch. Oh. Okay. All right, he's waiting.
I just wanted to say that I thought your presentation was excellent. I got a lot of great tips, and I'm also a coach, and there were some things you said I felt like it was me talking to myself. So it was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Yvonne. It's great
And
to
I'll
see
be
you.
contacting you.
Thank you. Please do. I would love that.
Yes, collaboration. Love it.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
All right, anyone else? Questions?
Is there a chat in the box, or is that just?
It was someone that that was letting us know that she had to leave early.
Oh, got it.
All right. With that, thank you very much, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
You too.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.